Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2014. I'm interviewing Dorothy Barron. My name is Judy Brannigan. I'm with the Orland Park Public Library, and we're interviewing Dorothy in her home. So Dorothy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, let's see. I was born March 11th, 1931. I was raised in Chicago. I went to St. Joseph's High School, and I won a scholarship there to go into nursing, but because I was only 17 years old when I graduated, they wouldn't let me go. So in the meantime, I was working at Evangelical Hospital in Chicago, and the superintendent says, well, why don't you go into lab training, Dorothy? I said, okay, it's okay with me. So I did. I went into lab training, and I became a lab technician. And when I finished there, I went to Little Company Mary Hospital. And I was there, and I met this doctor there, and we were talking about being in the service. My brother was in the service at the time. And he said, well, if you want to learn to really get good experience, go in the Army. Whoa, I like that idea real well, because like I said, my brother was already in the Army, and I was very patriotic. So I went in the Army, and I loved it. I took my training in Virginia, and from there I was assigned to Letterman Army Hospital in San Francisco. And while I was there, they found out I was very good at what I was doing, being a lab technician. So first thing I knew, I was being promoted to corporal, from a sergeant to a corporal, and then within the year's time, I became a sergeant. And I said, whoa, there was a girl that I was very, very jealous because she was making sergeant at the same time, and she was in for 13 years. So anyway, like I said, I loved what I did. So they put me in charge of the blood bank there because the Korean War had broke out, and all these guys were coming back. And believe me, we have no idea what those guys looked like. Oh my God, they had frozen nose, ears, fingers, toes, everything. It was terrible. One guy lost the whole half of his face. It was so, I was very sympathetic toward these guys, and I would visit them in the hospital on my rounds, you know. And this one particular fella loved, I always hit him first. I never had to go back the second time to try and take his blood. So I went in 7 days a week to take his blood, and well, along with the other patients, of course. But like I said, I loved what I did, and I was in. So then I met my husband, and he was a MP, and he was stationed there at Letterman Army Hospital. And before we knew it, we were engaged. Got engaged on Valentine's Day in 1952. And I got married in 1954, in June 14th, Flag Day, 1952. Well, the Army wouldn't let you stay in the Army if you were pregnant then. You can now, but you couldn't then. So I was able to stay in until September. And then, like I said, I had to leave, which made me very sad because I had been on overseas orders twice, to Germany once and Japan another time, and they wouldn't let me go. Darn. So anyway, I had to get out, but that was my history of being in the Army. So was there any other questions?
Well, sure. Can we go back to your family life? So how many brothers, sisters?
I have 8 brothers and sisters. 4 of my brothers were in the Army. There were 4 boys and 5 girls, and of those 4 boys, all of them were in the service.
Oh, all in the same branch of the service?
Pardon?
All the same branch of the service?
No. One was in the oldest one was in the Army, one was in the Coast Guards, and 2 were in the Navy.
Okay.
So we have my mother was very proud of us all.
Okay, and what did your parents do?
My mother strictly was a homemaker. My father was a streetcar man on the surface lines in Chicago.
Okay, and was anybody, like your grandfather, anybody else in the military?
No.
No.
But I'll tell you something very interesting. My great-grandfather came from Holland in 1878. And 2 years later, Chicago burned down. And he took in 13 people to live with them until they found a place to live. And I thought that was magnificent.
Oh, sure.
That was very, but of course I never knew him, but
Wow.
I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, yes, yes. Very generous. Okay, so nobody else was in, and you had made the comment about you turned 17, so.
I had won that scholarship to go into nurses training. And like I said, I was only 17 when I graduated.
Oh,
Because I
only
had been
7.
promoted in grade school, a grade, I think from 3rd to 4th or 4th to 5th. I don't remember that. But whatever it was, I was only 17 when I graduated from high school. And they would not hold that scholarship.
Okay.
And because I guess nursing started in September and I graduated in June. And can you believe they wouldn't hold it? But anyway, it worked out to the best for me because I went into lab training and I loved it. I loved what I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about the lab training?
Well, I worked in there's 4 different departments. Like I said, went through each one of those departments for 3 months at a time. And then, like I said, I graduated.
Okay, and what specifically, did you focus on anything in particular?
I guess, like I said, I was very good at taking blood. I mean, so you'd make your rounds in the hospital, and you take everybody's blood in the morning, come back and do their tests and everything. But like I said, after I went over to the little company of Mary, I found out, I don't know, I just found out that I would get more experience. They thought it, if I went in the service.
Sure.
And of course, like I said, having 4 brothers, I figured, hey, you know what? Why not?
Sure.
I with a chance of getting, to see the world.
Right.
And like I said, I have seen 46 of our 50 states.
Okay. Now, were there any other nurses at the hospital who went into the military also that you knew?
That I knew? No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And so when you went into the Army, did you have to do...
You had to go to lab training, 3 months of not lab training, 3 months of, what do they call it? Basic training. Basic training.
Okay. Can you tell us...
Fort Lee, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Oh, that was interesting. I love it.
Yeah? What did you do? What was your day like?
Well, you get up at, I'm trying to think, at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I think it was 6 o'clock. And you had to file out there, get in rotation, And we went through the basic trainings, We had rifle training, we had marching, all types of exercise. And did the regular, what you do in basic training, I guess.
Okay.
But,
And were you separated from the men?
oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you ever allowed to mingle?
I really can't say. I don't know. But when I went out to San Francisco, that was a 6th Army headquarters, and that's Stanford, and that's a big base. And of course, the WACs are separated there too.
Okay.
They didn't mix them then.
Okay.
But
So your superiors, were they officers, women?
absolutely.
Women or men?
Oh, for the training or for the
For the training.
In basic training, it was strictly women. In when I was in the hospital, it was all doctors.
Okay.
And of course, doctors that were in charge of each department there.
Okay.
Of course, there was a general over us, and he was the one that took me off those orders.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But the colonel of our department was the one that went to him and said, "No, I need her."
Okay. And do you know why he took you off?
Yes, because you realize they promoted me from private in when I first got there, which would have been September. No, December. I got out to San Francisco, and then less than a year later, they made me sergeant. They weren't about to let me go.
Okay. Okay. And again, back to basic training. Just because being a woman, how was it with the officers?
I didn't find it difficult at all because I came from a large family. Like I said, there was 9 of us, and I was the 3rd oldest of those 9 kids. And I was used to knowing how to take orders, how to do things right. I felt sorry for some of those girls. They didn't have any idea how to. It was comical. I mean, some of those girls had no basic training at all. how to do things.
Okay.
And I felt, I don't know.
Yeah. Were you given, did you have specific duties at basic training? Did you
No.
have chores or anything? No. So from there you went,
To Letterman Army Hospital.
To
Right
Letterman.
into the lab.
okay. And can you tell us a little bit about that place?
Well, it was a regular hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And they had, like I said, I'm trying to think, that the war broke out in 1950, I believe it was. And we had, it was, I don't know how crowded it was at first, but believe me, it was crowded after that war broke out because those guys kept coming in.
Okay.
Ugh.
And how did
It
they?
gives me chills just even thinking about that part of
Oh,
it.
sure. And how were they brought in? By ship or plane or both?
Probably all.
Okay.
Probably all.
So you never had anything to
Oh,
do
no,
with
no,
that end of it?
No.
Okay. And what were the ages of the men that you treated?
Probably anywhere from 19 basically to 25. There might have been some a little older, but look at, oh, he missed the bird. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
The ages of the men?
Oh yeah, basically they were young men.
Okay.
They were the young men.
Okay.
And
did you get to talk to them a lot?
Oh.
Or?
well, not a few personally, but only when I would go back and visit them. Because basically my job was to take their blood, and then go back to the lab and test the blood. And so then, like I said, later, I can't remember how long it was, maybe 6 months, no, it must have been 6 or 8 months before I got into the doing strictly taking blood from, blood.
Okay.
Pints of blood.
Okay.
Pints of blood, rather than just individual testing supplies.
Oh, okay. Okay. And can you walk us through a typical day?
Pardon?
A typical day for you at work? How did it
really.
start? What did you do?
Well, like I said, when I took over the lab, I was strictly in the blood bank, and then of course we would test their blood to see what it was, what label they were, negative or positive, whatever, blood type. And then if I had a slow day and I didn't have a lot, some days we went into different cities around San Francisco, and they'd have a blood drive where we would take anywhere from 60 to maybe 100, 200 people
Okay.
in a day, for a town. And then of course we come back, we had to do all that testing.
Sure. And so when you went out into different areas,
I'll just,
can you pause?
okay,
It's up here.
forget it.
Okay.
Oh,
That's okay.
it's advertisement.
Oh. They call my house at dinner time.
Okay, I think I can figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
Where were we?
Where were we?
Oh, I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
This button or this one?
I think pause again.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you went out around the city for the blood drives, you were dressed in uniform?
I'd have a lab coat over me.
Okay. But they knew you were with the military?
Yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh
Okay.
yes.
And what was the reaction of people? Were they very good about
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I'll never forget one woman, she wanted her blood taken so bad. She wanted to donate her blood. And I tried her twice. I would never stick another person more than twice. Never. And I went into the surgery outfit. I had a doctor come over, try to get her blood. He couldn't get her blood either. And he stuck her 5, 6 times. And I said, never again would I ever ask a doctor to do that. Which I never did.
Right. So people were pretty
Oh my
patriotic
God,
about
they were
it?
so generous. And like I said, they came in droves to
Okay.
give their blood. The people were very good.
Okay. And so when you were at the hospital taking blood from the patients, did you strictly work with the military patients, or were there other individuals there?
No, no, it was actually people that came in from the outside to donate their blood. Once I was in the thing, when I was in the lab before I went into being taking over the blood thing, blood donations. Then I would work with patients.
Okay.
But basically, I was working strictly where I was handling outside people coming in to do it, or military people too from that base, because that was a very big base.
Mm-hmm.
That was 6th Army headquarters,
Okay.
and then they would come in too.
Okay. And all the personnel and the blood bank and everything, that they were all military personnel, correct?
I was the only one running the blood bank.
Right, but the people that were under you.
Oh, under me? There was nobody under me.
Oh, so you were the
I was
blood bank.
I was the blood bank.
Okay. Okay. My goodness. So how many hours did you work a day?
Basically 6 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours. Regular 8 hours.
Okay. And what did you do on your time off?
Oh, I love to go swimming, and we had an Olympic-sized pool there. That's where I met my husband. I liked to swim across the width of the pool underwater. Well, this one day I needed breath,
Mm-hmm.
so I came up, and I came up underneath him. So I met him later on, and he met me coming. We had our barracks here. And the mess hall was like 2 blocks away.
Okay.
So we had to go our breakfast 2 blocks to get to our breakfast. So he met me on the way to breakfast the following morning. And from then on, we never left each other.
Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were married for 55 years. He died in 2007.
Wow. Stayed a lot of time together.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And so he was an MP?
He was an MP, yes.
Okay. And
He finally made sergeant. He was only a corporal when I married him, but he made sergeant.
okay, very good. And did he have any adventures while he was an MP?
Well, I don't know. It's usually, no, it was a very quiet base.
Mhm.
So I mean, really, they were there. We got to meet General MacArthur when he came back from overseas.
Can you tell us about
That was
that?
very exciting.
Yeah. Well, how did that
We had a
happen?
lot of interesting entertainers too. They had a lot of entertainment on the base.
Okay.
And Bob Hope, anyone you name them, they were there. The actresses were absolutely fantastic visiting us.
Okay.
They put on regular shows, and individually they come. Bob Hope, I hate to tell you how many times he came there. He was very good. He would go to every ward, shake the guys' hands. It was,
Oh, very nice.
they were very nice, very, very nice.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the actresses or movie stars that you met?
My mind is going a lot. I've met a lot, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't think of any.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's fine. That's fine. So you always were at the hospital. You never went overseas.
Oh yeah,
or,
no, I didn't get to go overseas. No, but
Right.
I did travel all the way up to Seattle, and all the way down to Mexico, because I'm one of the girls that was in the barracks with me. She was in the service longer than me. She had a car, and
Okay.
we go. In fact, we went to Denver one day too. We take these trips, and visit different places, and so
Okay.
I got to see a lot of places,
Oh.
in California and around.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Yeah. So the soldiers that you worked with, the ones that were injured, anybody special that you remember, or
Well,
Certain
the
stories?
Colonel Ernst was the colonel there. They were very nice, very nice. And like I said, the one colonel gave me away at my wedding.
okay,
Yes.
very good. All right.
Yeah, I used to write to him for years afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and until he passed away. He lived. Let's see. I'm trying to think where he lives. I don't know. I got his address somewhere, but I couldn't tell you where it was now. But he has children, and I used to, write and ask him how they were. And he was
Mhm.
very nice, very nice.
Okay. And so once you were out of the army, how did that work? Did you?
Well, my husband had 2 more years to go on his enlistment.
Mhm.
So I lived in San Francisco, and like I said, I had 2 children. They were both born in San Francisco, born in Letterman Army Hospital, and I eventually had 4 children, but I mean, 2 of them were born in San Francisco. And so we stayed there. We had our apartment there,